Hey, ladies, and welcome to the next episode of the Purpose, Power, and Profit Society. I am your host, Kymberly Smith, the Purpose Catalyst, and today we are talking about creating your own devotional. So you know that the Purpose, Power, and Podcast Society is all about helping women identify their purpose, transform their pain into power, and activate their genius so that they can start creating multiple streams of income. So I'm excited in this season to start talking to you about how you can build income. So tonight I have Apostle Dr. Helena Hill with me, and she has created a phenomenal journal, and she is going to talk to us all about what it took, how she got there, and the steps to take it to market. So Apostle Dr. Helena, thank you for joining us. I'm so excited to have you.
I am so excited to be here, and thank you for the invite to come on your podcast.
Absolutely. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, the first part of my name, Apostle. Of course, I am over a couple churches in Trinidad, also in Pakistan, as well as the United States. Been in ministry for over 40 years. Yes, I am older than what you think. And I am just elated about what I'm doing. And I do online. I have extended from regular church to e-church. And so I'm able to be everywhere for everyone. So I have people over in Australia, Korea, and all that good stuff, and Africa, and just God just doing what He's doing in that atmosphere. I am a certified life coach, relationship life coach as well. So I do help people coach them through their life issues in relationships. I am a author. That's my other niche. I am an author. I am a multi-best-selling author. My first book, which we'll be talking about, is a devotional, and as it currently is #1 in the nation. Wow. And God is really good. With everything, I am a mother of 3 grown people, grandma as well, and a wife to my best friend. And so God is just good. What else can I say? With multiple streams of income, real estate, all that good stuff, all comes from what it is. So
I love that. You are definitely what I want women to aspire to have is multiple streams to diversify their revenue generation abilities in the earth. I think that is definitely important. I think it's something that we definitely can do. And I think it's something that I don't know if we focus on it as much. Maybe in the last year or so, I've seen more about I'm creating my 7 streams, but I think sometimes we get stuck in one. And I think that there are automations, systems, processes that can be put into place in order to help move that along a little bit and really help it to become a revenue generating idea and just not a good hobby with or without a business.
Exactly. Because it takes one business to help support the other business.
Absolutely.
That business cannot come forth until you have one stream. And what you do when you set realistic goals, you can modulate to those 7 streams.
Yes.
You know, the one that needs less money, that's the one you start with.
Exactly.
Oh, it's just it grows from that point to where you want to go. So
Absolutely.
You limit you.
I love it.
So, I mean, I'm not going to go ahead of myself, but go ahead. See, you know, what pastors, we just go all over the place. I'm going to stay in order.
Okay. So I heard you say that that the devotional is your first book. How many books do you have?
I have 2 books and working on 3 and 4 now.
Wow. Okay, so listen. Mm-hmm. One of the things that's so different from me and Dr. Helena is that it took me 18 months to write my devotional. Dr. Helena said it took her 7 days. I really felt some type of way. Like, if you saw my face, you would see how defeated I was. And then I had to remember to myself, okay, don't compare yourself. It was the first one. You weren't ready. You didn't really give God a complete yes. I got to talk to myself about my stages and things. 7 days. Like she pumped out a whole devotion. How long is the devotional? How many days is it?
It is a 45 daily devotional.
She did a 45-day devotional in 7 days. I really kind of don't know how I feel about that right now. She didn't tell me that before we got on that it was 45.
Well, I won't say that I did not intend on doing it then. So I won't even say that.
No. Okay. We're going to talk about it because I think these good people need to know that there are different times, different frames, different staminas. You know, some may be with me, some are definitely not. You know, some may be unfocused like I was. Some may be focused like you. With that being said, I want to make sure that we cover all of it. So what inspired you to write a devotional in the first place?
To be honest, I was really in prayer and relaxation, and get ready to go into Pentecost as we are right now because I do the Judaism time. And at that time, a lot of us that do operate in that magnitude, we know that's the time of revelation that God gives us. And so I was seeking his revelation in which way he wanted me to go. And he gave me that devotional.
Wow.
And in 7 days, it was written. And when I didn't even have a publisher. Didn't know how to get a publisher, none of that good stuff. So I'm going to throw that in there, okay? Because I feel that it will help somebody. And so he gave me the nucleus of what he wanted me to talk about. And he said, you're going to talk about tea time, let's talk business. I was like, that don't make any sense. Okay, God, but whatever you say, you need to make it make sense to me. I'm very analytical. So he has to go just totally A, B, C, D, E, F, G. All right. So in this manner, because I knew nothing about authorship, I know I love to read and all that good stuff, but to put it on paper, no, I'm a dictator. So, you know, and I'm used to numbers and I do business. I've been doing business ever since I was 14 years old. So that's ran my dad's business. So that's just my second language is business. So to write the book, he gave me the title, and which made no sense to me. But then he said, this is how you're going to do it. I'm going to give you words that ends in I-T-Y, and you're going to hyphenate them and make them T-E-A. And I said, okay, God. I said, Blends, what are you referring to? He said, we're going to talk about different levels or different aspects of people's behavior and character. He said, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the breakdown of it. He gave me the definition. He gave me the scripture, because it's an active book, okay? He gave me a prayer. He gave me discussion. And then he gave me proactive activities. And so he said, what you're going to do is you're going to break it down. You're going to give them first, have them to take a sip. And that was the scripture that was given for them to take the sip. Then he said they need to get strength. So give them the definition so they can understand what they're getting ready to embark. Then he said, then you're going to go into discussion. So you're going to do the let's talk about it. He said, you're going to give them descriptive and then give them 3 thought-provoking questions to ask to get the mind stimulating. He said, and once you give that to them and they find themselves, then I want you to give them prayer. And so then he gave me a prayer of binding and rebuking. And then he says, now give them surrender. And surrender is the proactive part. Now that you have recognized, prayed, bind and rebuke, now let's become proactive. And that is all the way throughout the whole book.
Wow, for 45 days.
Yes.
Oh my God. Okay. So you said that you didn't even know like how to get it published. What did you do?
Well, you know, being a pastor has its perks, praise God. And so I had went to a young lady that was at one of my offices. And it was a publishing, she had a publishing business across the hall from me. So I went over to her first, and she gave me some thoughts and all that, and emailed me a packet. And I looked at the packet, and I said, this don't settle right in my Holy Ghost. And so I had forwarded to one of my daughters who is also a bestseller and stuff. And I I shared with her, I said, look, I said, I need you to look at this before I commit myself. I said, because you are more familiar than I am. And so I forwarded her the email. She said, oh, Ma, no, Ma, can't let you do it. I need you to go to my publisher. And she gave me her publisher, which is Purposely Created Publishing Company by Tashina Davis.
Yes!
Oh, you know, you got tired of people coming left and right. Yes. And my baby, she introduced me to her, and in 15 minutes, Miss Tashina called me herself. And we took it from there. And what can I say? I shared with her my ideas, what God had given me. And she was like, no problem, Apostle. We're not going to change your words or anything. She said, do you have it written? I said, yeah, I already have it done. And so she was like, okay, well, then forward it to us. And, you know, she was like, it's kind of like unusual for someone to have all that. But yeah, when God gives certain people certain things, you know, he just going to give it to you. And we did a little bit of tweaking, but the content never changed. When I shared with the format and everything that I wanted, they did not just, the publishing company did not only allow me to keep the understanding and the presentation that God has given me to birth out in written form. They did not change that. You know, some people will change what you're saying. That was not changed. The other thing with the publishing company that I went with Purposely Created, is that they do not take your royalty. Right. Once you pay, that's it. That's it. Flat. That's all you pay. What you get is yours. It doesn't belong to someone else. It cannot be duplicated. They make sure all your stuff, your rights, your copyrights, all of that belong to you. And those are things people have to understand. You can go with a publishing company, but that publishing company may require a percentage of whatever you sell. And that's will be ongoing, and you need to watch for that. Also, certain publishing companies will not, they will say G, lower line, underline, D. They won't say God. If you're using religion, anything pertaining to religion, they will obliterate certain words, or they may omit it, period. If you are doing, so you have to be careful. Every publishing company do not or will not allow you to use religious doctrine. Okay, so you have to be careful. So every publishing company is really not for you. So that's something you have to look forward to as well. And I found that out just in researching what would be good and what will be for me. How to classify whatever you write. Is it fiction, nonfiction? Is it poetry? Is it a self-help book? See, your book can be classified in several categories. Like Tea Time is, this book is a self-help book, it's a spiritual book, and it's a devotional book. That's three different categories. And it's a book of prayer. That makes it four. So you have to look at all these different things. And then this book is also used in Bible studies at different churches all across the United States. They are using Tea Time as a tool for their Bible study, ladies group. And of course, you know, every year, everybody know Rainbow Team, guess what? They actually give out my book as gifts and all like that. And it's because my book also with the teas, the Lord gave me different type of teas to go with it. So when you're taking a sip, you're having a flavor as well to help you remember, as well as the questions and to write down. And so the journal for this is coming out now.
That is so good.
That's another stream of income is the journal.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay.
And I already have the ebook. So when the book came out, the ebook came out as well. So the ebook is a stream. Then the soft copy is a stream. Then I'm coming out also with a devotional kit that'll be coming out towards Thanksgiving, the actual kit.
Wow. So I just want to see that from one product, you were able to create 3 different babies that can generate revenue for you and really passive. If at anything at all, you have to ship books. If that,
yes, and you include that in your total cost.
mm-hmm.
So what you do is you'll add additional flat rate amount. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what you do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it will not be constantly as a piece. They know exactly what they're going to do. Then it also generates you speaking engagement.
Yes.
Okay? Vending opportunities that you take on. And I want to make sure I make it clear. When you are new coming out with a book, the best thing for you to do is not to charge for your speaking.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to make your books from your sale of your book. Okay,
mm-hmm.
That's where your money is going to go. Because, see, you can mess yourself up by requesting a fee. And then, but in return, you're not going to have many people coming out, or they don't push your book as much, or they tell you they cannot, at this time, you do not fit in their budget.
Mm-hmm.
So until you become more, get more credibility built up,
mm-hmm.
don't try to charge right off the bat. Try to get yourself the exposure you need for your book, because the more books you sell, the more you go up on the chart.
Yes. Okay. Absolutely. This is so good. So why did you choose a 45-day journal?
Honestly, it was really about 60, and we cut it back. And the reason why we cut it back, because I went with affordability. I did not want the book to be so big till it become distracting. Mm-hmm. And with it being that way, and that's the things you need to look for too. When putting your book together, the size of it, is it something that you can put in your purse? See, these are things you got to psychologically think about, okay? Mm-hmm. Is it something I can take along with me? Is it something I can put in my suitcase or my purse and pull out at any given time, and it will not be in the way? Is it something I can put in my drawer at work? See, these are the things you look at when you're talking about putting a book together, the size of the book. You pay by the pages. Hint. After you get so many pages, you're going to start paying extra. Exactly. So you have to look realistically at your budget on what you can do. And that also determines the size book and the amount of content that you're going to use.
Now, was it first distributed on Amazon and Kindle?
It was Amazon, Kindle, Barnes & Noble, what else? It was those 3 first. Okay. And then it went to Walmart. Then it went to Second and Charles, where you can just go in and pick it up. Then it's just been, different languages, about 4 different languages is translated to. So, God. And this is in a 2.5 year time frame.
Wow.
Let me make that clear.
Out for 2.5 years.
2.5 years. The first, when it came out, it was the 8th of 2016, January. April, it had became bestseller, 3-time bestseller. Then that June, it was nominated. I was nominated as a rising author. And so then the following year, last year, the book won Devotional of the Year, June of last year. Gosh. And yes, self-published book, believe it or not. But the book does not look like just a very good workmanship.
Yes.
It's not a flimsy book or anything like that, something thin. Throw it on the back, all that good stuff. I want everybody to understand you have to have good content and all like that. You cannot have that. You cannot have a book. I'm not knocking anyone, but you cannot expect to charge a decent price and you have a spiral book as a book, like a cookbook. But it's a book, and what you're doing is degrading or downplaying the content of strong information you have to give. You have to invest in you.
That's it. That's
I'm sorry.
right there. That's true.
You
You don't have to
can't be
apologize
cheap.
for the truth.
You know,
You
you
apologize for spreading lies, but you don't apologize for the truth. The truth is the truth. You have to invest in what you want to be a top-notch product. And the only way you convey that is by ensuring that you spend the amount of time and money necessary to make it look like it's a top-notch product.
Exactly.
I agree.
And I tell anyone that. And with me, they get where they can even order. They get their bookmarkers and everything. And so you have to have good content. Mm-hmm. Your book has to look as good as your words.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you go and remember that you're, as an author, you are putting out a message. And to duplicate that message, you have to have a quality looking product. And then you have to have a product that when you say you need X amount of books, you can get them to you. And so with the same publishing company, Purposely Created Publishing, I got to give it on point. You have to understand, when you go with a quality publishing company, that publishing company sets everything up for you. This is the stuff you don't have to do. And what they do is then they'll begin to tell you, okay, this is the information we got for you. Is this accurate information? Yes. Okay, we're going to set you up on this, and that. Now, I'm going to send you an email and tell you how to finish setting up your Amazon account. Hello. I'm going to help finish you setting up your distributor for your book. I'm going to help you set that up. Now, from that point on, you maintenance it. You can't, this is what you pay for when you're paying for through a company that relieves the stress off of you. I shared how I wanted my cover to look. And guess what? Took it from there.
That is so good. That is so good. And that's one of the probably most important things, is having someone in your corner that gets your vision and understands what it is that you want to bring to the marketplace and does not try to change it. So, all right, ladies, now, if you've heard Dr. Helena, you've heard her say that she spent time with God, so there was meditation involved in this. Then she wrote the book, which was the important part. Then she even researched publishing. So she didn't just pick the first deal. She did her due diligence to make sure that she had the right partner in bringing her vision to pass. That is so important, because a lot of times, let's be honest, we will choose by who is who's charging less money.
Yes.
Who did my friend go with? And how soon can I get it back? But not necessarily check out the reviews of the company that we're choosing, and then we end up in a nightmare. Exactly. And really looking for someone to save us. So I love the steps that you took. And even the fact that this is another one of the things that you mentioned that I think is important for us to think about as authors or aspiring authors. Going with a publishing company doesn't mean that it comes with, you don't have to do anything that I say, it's your vision. But she even gave you, some tips and some advice about cutting it from 60 days to 45, and you went with it because I'm assuming it was because you felt like she was an expert in her field.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And then those 15 days, you still have content that you could use for email deliverables, right?
Exactly.
Yes.
Look, or because this is one of a 5-part series.
Wow. Okay.
Exactly. Okay. So the book don't just stop there. The next devotional is Tea Time, Let's Talk Dysfunctional Relationships, along with the anthology that I'm trying to get people to come and be a part of the anthology of Let's Talk Dysfunctional Relationships.
I love it. And so the fact that you're doing a series, and I take it you're still going with Tashina?
Of course.
Of course. Look, you don't stop the track record now.
Look, my second book that just came out.
What? Okay, so you're in Sold Out as well.
Exactly.
Yes.
You got it.
Okay.
In my Dysfunctional Loyalty, the chapter is what I wrote.
That is so awesome.
So that had went number 1 bestseller before we launched it.
So Sold Out is an anthology though, right?
Yes, 19 other authors.
So tell me what prompted you to go into an anthology also being a single author.
Um, Adding credibility
Okay.
to
Okay.
my status. And
Okay.
the more you and look, and it is cost effective for because I had started my book years ago, but I had a DDO problem with my computer and it lost my whole book. And of course, I could not recreate it. And so when Miss Cheryl had approached me
Mm-hmm.
in reference to being a part of her anthology, Sold Out,
Mm-hmm.
she said, I know God is giving you something. I started laughing. And I was like, the Holy Spirit brought back to that book, which was called Dysfunctional Loyalty. I had lost that whole book. He said, do the introductory. And this was last year. And I was like, okay. He said, you do that one chapter as the introductory to what you're getting ready to do. And I'm like, oh man. So I utilized the opportunity to add credibility, to show the versatility of my authorship.
Wow.
I utilized that. Although some would say, why would you tag along with somebody when you already got your own thing going on? Because I need people to see that I have the ability or I desire to work with other people. It's not about only me. It's about the message.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's about. And God will have you to push a message in several different ways. Don't limit the way the message is to be pushed.
Mm-hmm.
As long as the message goes out, that's what it's about. And then someone wanted to hear me, but yet they get to hear 19 other people.
Mm-hmm.
What is how beautiful a blessing that is. And
Mm-hmm.
something else somebody went through, you are being able to hear it and you can relate to it the whole 9 yards. So to reach more people with numbers. And so with the anthology that I'll be working on, and like I said, I'm trying to get people, if they desire to, because it do cost. It's not free. I will make an anthology, and I don't want anyone thinking that an anthology is free, that you just write and you don't pay nothing. That's not true. So if anyone invites you to be a part of an anthology, they're inviting you to share their vision, but use your experience. And
Mm-hmm.
so they're saying that, look, I'm going to share my platform with you. And I'm telling people, do not, and I will, if you want to grow or get credibility, I will tell you this. If the person that's asking you to be a part, now I'm not slighting anyone, I'm just being truthful. If a person is asking you to be a part of their project and they say, well, I want you to be a part of my anthology, and no one know who they are, they're not a bestseller, then you're wasting your money. Because
That's good. Is that what
I'm sorry, but I have to be truthful.
Well, I never thought about that, to be honest with you. I mean, there are a lot of people out here doing anthologies right now. So I think that that is definitely some things to look at. So, okay, so now we've moved to anthologies. Apostle Helena gave you parameters by which to judge. Listen, she's no joke, y'all. I can't wait for y'all to see the video. But he is no joke. So now you have parameters for an anthology. You know how to decide. You know not to go in with no ends. Get your money up. Get your coins together because an anthology costs as well. And then she said, make sure that you have a game plan. So I love the fact that you went into an anthology, even as a best-selling single author. I think that's awesome. And it doesn't downplay who you are at all.
No, it doesn't.
That's cool. That is so awesome. I had so much fun with you this evening talking about you creating your devotional and your journey to being an author. I think there are so many people who are writing books about their experiences and devotionals and, you know, how-tos and things of that nature. It is awesome to have someone who's been, you know, a best-selling author on their own and in an anthology that's done extremely well as well. So it has been fabulous having you on the podcast. Tell the ladies where they can find you on social media.
You can find me at Tea Time on Facebook as well as on Instagram. You could also contact me at teatimeletstalkblend@gmail.com. You can also go on my website at bit.ly/the number 2, capital H, capital B, capital H, I, and double L.
All right, all right. Yes. Listen, make sure you visit Apostle Dr. Helena Hill. She is amazing. Grab her book, Tea Time. It's still on Amazon and Kindle?
Yes.
Awesome. Make sure you grab it, give it a read, give it as a gift. Listen, do a whole women's study with it. I know you're going to have a good time. And as for me, I am Kymberly Smith, the Purpose Catalyst, just over here inciting purpose riots. Thank you so much for joining us, Apostle Helena. You can catch her on Facebook, on Instagram, and she also gave you her website address. And as for me, I'm on Instagram at purpose_catalyst, on Facebook at facebook.com/purpose catalyst. And I will talk to you soon. It has been a pleasure. Thank you for joining me. I'm so happy to have had you. And listen, make sure that you are identifying your purpose, transforming your pain into power, and activating your genius as Dr. Helena did, and creating multiple streams of income. All right, ladies, we will see you soon.